In this best of 7 series. So far, we are tied at 2 games apiece. We will have at least one more game after this, but let's focus on game 5 as T-Gun spawning as the pink Zerg. Meanwhile, Rocker is going to be the purple Protoss, and T-Gun, who was very effective in his last game. We'll see how he does here on Tal'Darim Altar.
Yes, looks like vVv Rocker are going to be spawning as the purple Protoss, and then T-Gun spawning as the pink Zerg. Cross positions here, so I think we know how this is going to start out, at least on the Protoss side, and probably the Zerg side as well. I imagine T-Gun will be going for that the early pool. Will probably delay his gas a little bit like he did in the last game, but we'll see how quickly he gets onto a third base and which third base he chooses.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen here. It looks like Rocker will be opening up with that Forge Fast expansion. Forge Fast expansion, very, very common strategy as of late. But one of the issues that you really got to be on the lookout for is the amount of territory and site that you have to cover. Nidus networks are one of the ways that you can try to challenge a Forge Fast expansion. There's also that 2-base all-in, just every which way, that in order to try to make sure that the Protoss can't get up on bases, as now T-Gun just mining away, hasn't really tipped his strategy yet, as both players now scouting in similar directions.
Yeah, and again, T-Gun sending out a pretty early scout here, so he might actually be able to get in and maybe block the Nexus, probably not, but he'll at least know what the front door of Rocker looks like, and that's pretty important. Whether the Protoss player starts out with the Nexus, whether he goes Forge first, where he places that cannon, because you can put pressure on this this sort of build as a Zerg player. If you take an early gas, you can go for early Lings, early Banelings, sometimes early Roach play as well. It can be quite strong against this Forge style. So T-Gun going to see the front door, know where his opponent is, and looks like he's going to go perhaps back home with that drone. We'll see.
All right, we'll see what's going to be happening next. It looks like, really, Rocker, I'm not quite sure what he did. Perhaps did he warp in on another pylon? No. No, we have a proxy hatchery coming in from T-Gun. All right, this is going to be interesting, as it may not be scouted out. And if it is a Nexus first coming in from, or Nexus next coming in from Rocker, that may be really bad news.
This will be interesting. We'll see. Probably going to be spine crawlers, though. He's going to have to send some drones out to really make this happen. And Rocker, yeah, he's going to be wondering where this hatchery it is. And, sort of by this time, you will see a hatchery thrown down, especially if there's no gas taken. There's not really much to spend minerals on otherwise. And it looks like, yep, there go the drones. And it looks like Rocker will be able to spot those drones. He does spot the hatchery doing a little bit of scouting there, so we'll see how he chooses to deal with this. Looks like a photon cannon will be going down in range of the hatchery, and T-Gun, I'm not sure if he knows about that cannon yet. It's going to be quite a surprise if that hatchery does finish with that cannon there, and no spine crawlers or Lings to defend.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really bad news. Rocker getting a head start, and now the hatchery is going to complete, gain sight of those photon cannons, and go, oh no, spine crawlers do take quite a bit of time, and now one photon cannon will be completed. A queen now trying to be trained. Drones going to fall. Natural regeneration saving one of them, as the hatchery now going to take a lot of damage, and a creep tumor needs to be established. One drone does get taken down here. We do have double photon cannons, and Zerglings now trying to be trained up as well. So this is looking very interesting, as the hatchery is going to allow for a queen and for a creep tumor to make sure that these spine crawlers do not bleed to death.
Yeah, the queen's going to come out, pop down that creep tumor, and then might tank a little bit of damage while these spine crawlers get into position. Rocker adding a ton of cannons right now, so he's got 3 already, and it looks like 4th and 5th on the way. But some of them strangely positioned. Maybe these spine crawlers can come at an angle, take them out one at a time. But this hatchery looks like it's about to go down. Only 1 cannon in range of this hatchery, interestingly enough. But the queen is here, the creep is down, and the damage has sort of been done in terms of having creep right in front of your opponent's base. So we'll see what T-Gun's able to do with these spine crawlers.
Yeah, right now Rocker on a crazy advantage, 29 probes versus 12 drones.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what exactly can be done. Zerglings quickly getting destroyed, and T-Gun has to really figure out what his strategy is going to be. He doesn't have gas, and that is so many photon cannons. it may not be possible to even try to brute force your way in. In come the spine crawlers now. The broodlings are making their way in. Zerglings now trying to swarm in as well. And what's going to happen? The queen now coming in, and there is a whole bunch of photon cannons still being added. Zerglings getting tied down as well. The spine crawlers do have a decent amount of armor and also deal a lot of damage. Who is going to win this war?
Yeah, there's that one transfuse does go off, and I mentioned the range earlier. These spine crawlers might actually be able to be microed a little bit. We do have a spine crawler taking on a cannon right now, and I believe that that cannon will go down before the spine crawler. The forge will go down as well. A creep tumor placed down by that queen, so these spine crawlers won't die anytime soon. And Rocker has really delayed his tech. He's just now got his gateway, a cybernetics core about halfway done, but like you mentioned, only 14 drones at home. There's a pylon right in his natural, so T-Gun can't really expand, and he's got more lings coming here, going to try for another big attack, but just more and more cannons being added by Rocker. And I think even though Rocker did lose that forge, I think he's definitely safe here just because only 2 spine crawlers.
Yeah, with only 2 spine crawlers, I'm not sure what can be done. Rocker still with plenty of photon cannons, 7. Spine crawlers do attack fairly quickly, and rooting right next to another photon cannon. The photon cannon does deal only 20 damage per attack as opposed to 30, since it is an armored building. But in comes a transfuse as well. What will it be enough? 300 hit points versus 300 plus the shields. Queen now trying to come in, trying to help on the fight, but it doesn't look like it will be enough at 19 hit points.
Just one more attack, maybe actually 2 more attacks because of the 2 armor on that spine crawler. So T-Gun's surgical with these spine crawlers, but now the Stalker is out, and I believe the party is going to be over. Stalker can easily take down the spine crawlers here, especially if it micros back to regenerate some shields. Looks like it's going to do just that, but the spine crawler is down to just a few shots apiece. The queen's got not enough energy for a transfuse. It's going to be several more seconds before that can happen, but everything very low life out in the front here for T-Gun. He has established a second base, about to finish, but it's in a very awkward position, so we'll see what this game turns into.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen here. 1 spine crawler down, a second, a transfusion comes in to save it. And Rocker being forced to train up a sentry, and even a force field would just spell absolute havoc. Production tab, we finally have gas. We don't have a Baneling's Nest. I think the Baneling's Nest would probably be very, very nice with the speed boost of the creep. And even if the Banelings died, they would deal damage at this point. And 1 spine crawler with 4 kills is all that is left.
Yeah, the pretty interesting strategy, but Rocker had that scout, and he saw that, and you wonder how the game would have played out if he had added fewer and fewer cannons, especially with the timing of the hatchery going down there. It was a nice attack combined with the broodlings and the spine crawlers, and now Rocker being as far ahead as he already is. He's got halfway done on a Dark Shrine, and it's going to be really difficult for T-Gun to defend against that. His lair just now starting. He's got no evolution chambers, so no spore crawlers. If Rocker does know about this northern base, it's easily going to go down with the DTs.
All right, what's going to happen here? Zergling's now trying to come in. The queen down to 14 hit points doesn't get taken out. It does get a transfusion off once again on the spine crawler. So that spine crawler has had a lot of life in it still. As we can see, Zealots are now being warped into the middle of the field as well. It will depend on where Rocker goes with these Zealots. Perhaps the Zealots know something. It could try to scout out for all the additional there, as Zealots have taken out the natural expansion and reset as the hatchery once again trying to be rebuilt.
Yeah, now an evolution chamber is about to finish for T-Gun, but is it going to be too late? He's going to have to make a spore crawler. He hasn't scouted the DT shrine, so there's Zealots in his base, and he's just got Lings right now. The Zealots, I don't believe, had any upgrades, but still basically the counter unit to Lings and just a ton of Zealots. So I think the game's going to end here, perhaps.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. The Queen attempting to run away. Zealots getting surrounded by Zerglings. Not a terribly great micro there, but when you have superior numbers, you can just focus on your macro. Dark Templars are now walking inside. It could easily take down the lair, and it is going to do that. And T-Gun loses to Rocker here on Wednesday night StarCraft.
Yeah, pretty interesting decision by T.